Hi, I'm Hank Blank. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about how to rise above the crowd. And my presentation is really about how to use social networking and personal networking to make sure that you dominate Google. So, a lot of people in the past used to say it's all about my elevator speech. And I think the elevator speech now is passé. It's a little cold. Because the chances of you getting on an elevator with a hiring manager or, the person that's going to be the key decision maker are very, very slim. But the chances of that person hearing about you and checking you out on Google are very, very high. So a little bit about my background. I'm Canadian. I took a Berlitz course though, but I was lucky. My first account at DDB Needham in Toronto was McDonald's. Then I worked for 10 years for J. Walter Thompson in Toronto and Chicago. Then I ran the national Domino's pizza business. And then I came out to California and I was executive vice president Townsend O'Leary. And I was lucky because I sat on the beach when I was 22 years old in Laguna Beach. And now I live here in beautiful Orange County. And on my life side, I have 2 kids that live with me. Both are available for adoption. I've run 6 marathons and I don't know why. And I come from a long line of nomads. My brother was born in Warsaw, Poland. My sister was born in Beirut. And I was born in Toronto, Canada. So that's given me a great appreciation for diversity. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So the first, when we're going out and networking and we're trying to build business, I think you have to remember the first thing is we're all in a world, and that world is changing. I can give you many examples of that. There's no record stores anymore. We can talk about the power of iPhone, something that's been around for 4 years and now there's 50 million of them. But if I think about Kodachrome, if I use that for an example, about 5 years ago, Kodachrome was a $15 billion business. You used to go to Disneyland, you used to capture those magic moments by using Kodachrome film. They used to sponsor the Olympics. They used to sponsor all the showcase programming. But there's no Kodachrome film anymore because we have cameras in our phones. So the only place you can get Kodachrome film is in a Paul Simon song. And we're with this great recession, a world of great change. A lot of times people say, I'm waiting for the new normal, Hank. I'm waiting for the return to normal. And it's not going to return to normal. This is the new normal. This is the world of change. And what's the best way when you have to try to make a living or try to expand your career and there's so much going on in technology and everything else? Well, the best way to change is through networking. So what do? Well, I told you I'm an advertising guy, but I'm testimony to recreation. I also do public relations, I do social networking, I do personal networking presentations, I do websites, I do agency reviews. And in today's world, you have to reinvent yourself. So I'm going to give you one big networking tip. And the first thing I want you to remember, and if you only remember one thing, the networking isn't about going to a place. Networking is about having an attitude of engagement. An attitude of engagement. You can go to Starbucks and you can have that crackberry and you can turn yourself into a lemming like 8 out of 10 people do, or you can be engaged with the people around you. And I live in a village of 3 million people in Orange County. And I'm engaged. I go to my Starbucks and they say the regular thing, Hank, and I said yes. Then I go to Vaughn's and I see Grace, she's Polish. I say the 2 Polish words I know, Dzień dobry and dziękuję, and she talks to me. Last Christmas she baked me a poppy seed cake. I go to the UPS store and I say, Nick, how's business? He says, we had a pretty good Christmas. And I said, that's great. 2 weeks later I read in the Wall Street Journal that UPS had a great quarter. It's about an attitude of engagement. You don't know whether that barista that's behind the bar, that her mother's the president of the bank, and she wants her daughter to get a real world work experience, working and dealing with people to learn about customer service so she can expand and grow. And if you connect it with her, you never know, that could lead to new business. So in your networking, remember, an attitude of engagement is how to get connected. And if you want to be really good at networking, you have to do something all the time and practice it. And if you live an attitude of engagement, you get to practice your networking 24/7.